The current geopolitical worries about the Mideast somewhat slowed the headlong soaring drive of the markets. The Dow, the S&P 500, they recently were at all-time highs, and yet they may resume that upward run. But here's the thing. Don't be too impressed by the number. The number may be at a record high, but that doesn't factor in one very important economic indicator. Stephen Esposito is Senior Vice President at Morgan Stanley. And Stephen, that is inflation. Why is inflation so important to factor in?
Because you have to consider your buying power. I mean, the index may be back to where it was and hitting new highs, but what does it actually purchase versus what it hit its prior high 10 or 15 years ago? So purchasing power is very important when it comes to investing.
But a lot of people just go by the number alone, and they're really hurting themselves because they're being deluded in thinking they are richer now because it's at an all-time high. Therefore, my portfolio must be at an all-time high.
Absolutely. There's a lot of variables, but correct. I mean, if apples to apples here, you actually have less money today in purchasing power than you had when the index hit its high over a decade ago.
And you know, you got some stocks that have dividends, and I assume that would complicate things further.
Yeah, I mean, the dividends are nice. In the index, if you calculate it, the numbers, I mean, you could stretch the numbers either way, but whenever you can achieve dividends in a portfolio, that's always a positive for your portfolio. So I try to purchase dividend-paying stocks in most of my portfolios when possible.
All right, help us out. How do we play the markets then? How should we think about investing differently?
Well, that's a very good question. When it comes to investing, too many people, I believe, are focused on a specific index. There's hundreds of indexes out there and trying to match it. I think you should develop, what I try to practice is I develop my own index for clients. We determine what your needs, your goals are, and what your roadmap is, and determine what percentage rate of return we have to achieve within that period of time. That becomes our index. So I think you should structure your portfolio to match your roadmap and your rate of speed you want to go.
A lot of money managers sort of say that. They say that's
right.
Sort of what we do.
Well, exactly. I'm not sure how many actually practice that, but yeah, I think that's important. I think, again, develop your own index, what your investment goals are, and try to steer your portfolio towards achieving those goals, not necessarily trying to match a generic index out there that you may or may not fit your criteria.
And the basic market theory, the long run-up we've had, will certainly become a fall of who knows how much and when that'll happen, but you always have to be prepared for that. Stephen Esposito, thanks so much.
Thank you.